Affinity comes with a lot of great colour effects, but my favourite for creating extreme colours, I love gradient maps. So gradient maps is an adjustment you can find in the adjustments panel, and you can see there all the various adjustments and effects I've used in this. So I'm going to show you a few hints and tips of how to create some really extreme colour effects with any image. The image here is from Boris Optics, as well as Adobe Firefly. The adjustments panel, where can you find it? Window, and go to Pixel and Adjustments. And you've got lots and lots of options, not just gradient maps, of course, but you can select a gradient map there. Just click one of the presets and it will bring up the presets the gradients panel, and you can then change the different settings. That doesn't affect the actual preset. And of course, you can select any of the other presets as well. And again, any changes doesn't affect the actual preset. You can also move the stops. Now the stops normally are about 2 or 3 of them. That's it. If you have 10 or 15, I think it becomes quite garish, quite extreme colour effects with that. But still, you may like that. Also, the closer you get to a particular stop, the sharper the edge between them. If you're in the middle and you've got between the two, it's more blurry effect, and I think the result just looks nicer personally. Now, you can add additional ones, and I've just added another stop there, and you can change colour. Now, if you change the colour really extreme, say go from the reds and the yellows, maybe go to blues and greens or whites, etc., you can create some truly weird sort of 60s, I think 60s looking effects, super quick like that. And you can move it back and forth. Again, the closer you get to the different stops, the sharper it will be. And you can see as I move back, it just changes like that. At any point, if you like it, what you got, you can go to Add Preset. Just click Add Preset, and that will be added to the adjustments panel. And you can just give it a name and click OK. It stores also the current blend mode for that effect, which is, in this case, pin light. Now I can go and change the blend mode. I can run through them, and I might decide to go with, say, linear burn or color burn. I think personally the color burn or linear burn just looks better with this extreme flame design that I've got at the moment. But what you've got is a layer, a gradient map adjustment layer, and you can duplicate those. So right click and then select the duplicate. And now you've got another adjustment layer. That's independent. You can just modify the settings for that adjustment. And I think the doubling up or even 3 or 4 adjustments can create some even more extreme color effects with those different colors. And you can run through all the different presets again if you want, or just go back to the same one, the tritone one. And again, what you can do, you can modify again the stops, just move them back and forth. And you can see as you go close to the yellow, more or less of the colour is shown. And again, like I say, if you go further and further and further, you can see it just disappears. Again, you could add additional stops. Again, you could go for different blend modes, maybe, again, colour burn or linear burn, and so on. And screen even. And just close out. So you've got those. What you can then do is add some effects. I mean, I think it looks great without the effects, but you can select that background. It could be any image, of course, and you can then blur it. Now, you could use the filters, pixel filters, and just blur, but I think personally, new live filter layer, blur and Gaussian works probably best. And then you just change radius. And as you change that, you'll see you get this slightly weird, wonderful contour blur effect inside the image there. And you can also see around the edge. So if you don't want that edge effect, you can see there, you can just click Preserve Alpha. That just removes that. And again, you can go through the different blend modes, one or other, maybe what you really want in your image. Maybe go again with screen or go with color burn and so on. Personally, I think the burn effects really just work so well with the frame. And again, you can modify the radius, get more of the yellow, more of the blue, etc. You can see now you've got that Gaussian blur, and that's associated with that background. So if you create some other image, that blur is not applied to it. But you can also add additional ones like the noise and add noise. Again, is a live effect. You can see now you get this grain added to the image. And again, you can change the blend modes if you want for that, as well as the intensity. But the grain is live, so you can come back and change it at any point. Also, it's above the Gaussian blur. So it's above the Gaussian blur, but you can always move it. Again, it's live. The position for all of these, the gradient map adjustments, as well as the different effects, can all be moved up and down by simply selecting them and then just dragging them above. You can see a blue line when you drag it. Just plop it down there and you've got then one is above the other. Personally, I think the blurring of the noise works better for the result that I want. And again, at any point, just click on the adjustment and you can then modify it. You can see, create slight variations there. Again, I think creating these sort of effects that you would have seen in the 1960s. 1960s, 1970s album. This is a perfect sort of album cover looking effect where you'd have sort of maybe the band name at the bottom or above, maybe arched over the top, whatever. Whole range of different possible options for how you actually display it. One is rock bands possibly. And you can see as you go through various things like strength, you can change it to screen or color burn, etc. And again, you can modify the stops for that one, and you can see you get more yellow or less, etc. of those colors. And you could, if you want, add additional stops. Though, as mentioned, I think 4 is really reaching the limit in terms of thing. Now, you'll notice one thing you can't do is you can't move the first and last. But the way around that is simply just click and then just add a stop very close to the end point, and it will have the same color. And then you can move that back and forth to create different designs that way. I always find that a slightly annoying feature of the thing. I do not know why they couldn't have made the first and last be movable. And of course, what you can also do is add additional adjustments. I've deselected all of the layers. Just click on the vibrance and then just add some vibrance and saturation. Personally, I love it 100%. 100% max, go for it. And also go for different, obviously, blend modes if you want as well. And then the end result is, in this case, a slightly weird, murky effect. Actually, the blur seems to create odd line structures with the noise, which I've only just noticed. It's very odd. But again, it's fine. I'm perfectly happy with that. And of course, if you decide, you know what, I don't like the noise, you can always go and tweak it and change the setting or remove it completely. And I think there's another noise effect, or of course, just go and apply a filter if you are happy with having it as a destructive effect. Please check out this video if you're interested in additional information about adjustments in Affinity. There's loads of great features you can use in countless ways.